Namaste viewers. Namaste, yaar. Namaste viewers. Welcome to Jaipur Dialogue USA. I'm Vibhuti Jha and would want you to like, subscribe, and support our channel. Give your feedback. I read your comments and I appreciate your feedback very sincerely. Today, I'm going to talk about the US ambassador to India, Mr. Eric Garcetti. And ambassadors have their own role to perform. They carry the country's agenda forward. That's the primary role of an ambassador. But Mr. Eric Garcetti is not a career diplomat. And as a result of which, he is a political appointee. He is very close to President Biden, and he is there with an agenda. Improving Indo-US relationship is something that everybody knows. The ambassador has a role to enhance a relationship between the country he represents and in the country that he resides. So, a couple of things that came to my mind. I want to tell you this. I worked with American Express in India, a Dow 30 company way back in 1985 onwards, 86 onwards. And what was fascinating was that as a banker, we carried a reputation of a fair weather friend. If American bank approached an Indian business to do business with them, the common parlance, common usage was that if American bank has come to you, that means you are doing well. Otherwise, the American bank will not come to you. And if there is a few raindrops, the American banker will be the first to run away with the umbrella. So that was the perception problem that I have dealt with. I have personally dealt with the scenario. When you are branded as a fair weather friend. In the history of Indo-US relationship, that particular statement perhaps holds true. I live in America. I'm an Indian American. I'm a Hindu American. And my vision and view of the things that is happening is driven by that prism. Now, India is an important country. We Indians are an important group of people. That is undeniable. And over a period in time, India has been doing remarkably well, especially in the last 10 years. India is going through an election, and what it seems like that US has an agenda, and that's particularly important. The importance of the regime change that US always indulges in from time to time. Those who are strong or unfriendly, US tries very hard to dismantle them. So, US has actually accepted the reality that Modi will win the election in 2024. But they are trying very hard. You know this. We all know this. But a couple of issues which are very important. Mr. Garcetti recently made a statement, and that's where my frustration is. That when you apply the standards of democracy and freedoms differently to different people, different countries, in your own selective way. So Mr. Garcetti made a statement, reference Panun, who is a Khalistani, active in America, using the American soil to threaten India, bombing of Air India, who has done it in the past. The Khalistanis have done it in the past. He again threatened India and Indian diplomats with dire consequences, including death. And he's openly asking America to mend its ways with India. Now, it is branded as Mr. Garcetti said, is our way of freedom of speech. My question is that recently, Riddhi Patel made a very deplorable statement of telling the councillors in one of the states in America that we will kill you. She is now facing jail term. Her threat to kill was taken, and law enforcement activities went very fast, and she is now going to serve a very long jail term. That freedom of speech didn't matter, but Pannun's freedom of speech matters. So Pannun and Patel, United States is choosing a selective memory to to imply the rule of freedom of speech. Now, freedom of speech is very different. Culturally, India and America are very different. Though India is a land of diversity, America is a land of melting pot or the salad plate, call it as you like. As a result of which, what is happening is it is very important for the United States to bear in mind that all the talk about strategic partnerships, natural friendships, and all that goes about wordplay. What is important is what is visible and what actually is happening. So, Mr. Garcetti, you are not in the ranks of J.K. Galbraith, Frank Wisner, or Patrick Moynihan to be the ambassadors of the United States to India. You are a political appointee. Everybody knows your record in Los Angeles as a mayor. And everybody knows the reason why your appointment and arrival in India was delayed to time it close to the election time. So the point of the matter is, if you do not respect the cultural nuances of India, it is different. If you say that for United States black flag burning and death to America chants that are going on in America right now in college campuses and the streets, if that is okay as a freedom of speech, please bear in mind that making such statements in India or flag burning in India is a criminal offense. So if you do not respect the Indian point of view, all the talk and all the ice cream eating and hobnobbing with Shah Rukh Khan will not help, will definitely not help, because United States has actually failed its friends. US doesn't hesitate, and you, Mr. Garcetti, are representing that, does not hesitate to lecture India about who they can be friends with and who can they do business with. At the same time, United States chooses to ignore Indian considerations with a country like Pakistan. Think about it from that point of view. If Indians are uncomfortable with the relationship with Pakistan, you hobnob with them. You supply them F-16s, and then you tell India not to do business with Russia, while United States still is itself shopping from Russia for its energy needs. So this duplicitous behavior is not okay. We are living in an era right now where the technology has driven the communication to another standards, another height. We get to know things rather quickly. So when United States is bending backwards to accommodate varieties of social issue of its own in its constitutional agenda, don't expect India to toe the line, because we are culturally different. And that's what is very important for America to know. Recently, the American congressman, passing the budget for funding for Ukraine war and Israel war, they made a statement that Ukraine border is our border, is American border. But we ignore southern border on our side with infiltration of unknown number of people and unknown elements that are walking in the country. You can't expect India to follow the same pattern that America does. There is a difference, and you have to respect that difference. One of the jobs of the ambassador, and I need not tell you that whatever the political agenda or diplomatic goal may be, respect for local cultures and local people and their agenda is very important. Otherwise, there will be element of mistrust. And that Mr. Jaishankar has been showing it to you very openly. The other part is very important. America is known as a fair weather friend. It is evident that even Pakistan complained to the United States for being ignored and left in the cold after the Afghanistan fiasco. Remember this part. Israel today has been, in the last few weeks and months following the tragic attack by Hamas, Israel is being bombarded by United States, from Senator Schumer of New York telling that that Netanyahu must go, and the open threat by Secretary Blinken to its own ally and friend that they will be sanctioned on Israeli defense forces, and Biden giving instructions not to move into to protect their own interests, not to move into Rafah region. The question here is very important. When your ally, Israel, a motley group of 7.5 million people, are fighting for their survival, you abandon them. Do you think Indians do not notice that? Do you think people are not noticing that? That you are willing to let your ally suffer, and then you are telling India to do certain things against its own interests. So, Mr. Garcetti, this is very important. You know, having an ice cream with Shah Rukh Khan and doing all the social activities, it doesn't matter. People now know what things are happening as a showmanship, and that there is a substantive happening. That is very important. Freedom of speech cannot be abused to against a particular country. The other aspect which I wanted to also mention here, that in terms of economic opportunity, today India is that economic opportunity for you, for America to embrace. So my suggestion to you would be embrace India. Do not distance India from America, because in that process, loser will be America more than India. It's not about this or that. It's a fact. It's a reality. The Chinese experience has failed. You know that. We all know that. How China has infiltrated the United Nations and how they are driving the agenda. In America, too. Think about the amount of allegations that have come about against the president himself and his son regarding the Chinese entanglement. So people are watching, and they are able to see these things through rather openly. Nobody reads New York Times anymore. People are getting their information from many more sources than one. And my appeal to you would be, Mr. Garcetti, you are a politician. You should see the leaves the way they swing. You should see how the focus of the world has shifted. India is a country to be taken care of. Do not distance it. That's my message to you. Do not distance it. Do nothing to hurt the Indian interest, because people of India are emotionally, culturally, democratic, in the name of democracy. We are aligned. India and United States are remarkably aligned. So all those statements of strategic partner, natural allies are true. But what is important is, what are we doing about it? What are we doing to foster that relationship? Where is the trust deficit? Is America, the largest democracy, the prominent democracy of the world, taking care of the needs of another prominent democracy, the largest democracy in the world, that is India? People are watching. This election is vital. You are there to make sure that India US relationship does continue as an actual allies, not only natural allies. And that's what is important for you to remember. Thank you very much for watching the show today. Please like, subscribe, and support our channel. Satyameva Jayate. Truth must triumph, and we must fight for it. Thank you.